Shadows linger where answers hide. The night, a name whispered in fear, a mystery cloaked in darkness, and a trail of clues scattered in the shadows. Hometown, a city consisting of predominantly monsters, and many multiplying dark world mysteries. Kris, Mayor Holiday, Father Alvin, and many more, but only one truth. The dark worlds are spreading. The answers lie somewhere in the chaos, and I won't stop searching until I find out who is the Night, and what secrets do the forming dark worlds hide. I'm YT Juxley, and today I plan to find the truth about the Night in Deltarune. Stay with us as we unveil the truth of the dark worlds and the evils behind them.
Yo, what's up, everybody? It's your boy YT Jux back. I'm with the boy, it's Neo.
With the brand new.
With the brand new. What? A brand new theory video?
Again.
We back. And today, as you already know, we're gonna be finding the whole truth about the Night in Deltarune. But I'd like to welcome everyone back. If you watched our beautiful Gaster theory video,
Gaster Truth is Rise Up, by the way.
if you haven't watched that, please do go watch that. You'll know everything there is to know about Gaster in this beautiful game.
Yeah, and you will have to know a little bit about Gaster to understand what we're talking about with the Night.
But to put things simply, the Night is a character in Deltarune that has been teased for years, since the beginning. The creator of the Dark Worlds, the Dark Fountains. But the thing is, we've never known who the Night is in Deltarune. We don't have confirmation. But anyways, before we get into everything, we have to say, please do like, subscribe, comment. We appreciate all your feedback, no matter what it is. If you think we're fucking idiots, then tell us.
Yeah, bro, go tell us.
Tell us. I'd like to debate you, bro. But yeah, I have to tell you guys, please join the Discord too. It's in the description. And without further ado, I think we get it. And without further ado, I think we can finally get into this investigation.
Now, our first suspect, and the suspect I believe is the most likely to be the Night personally, is Kris Dreamer.
You need to leave!
And the reason why Kris is most likely to be the Night, from what we've seen thus far in the game, is their actions at the end of Chapter 2. What Kris does is remove their soul, and thus, Kris does this all on their behalf, creates a dark fountain for their own reasoning. But one thing we can do to help narrow it down, to see if Kris really is the Night, is analyze their character.
Now, you said at the end of Chapter 2, but I also like to take a step back to
Chapter
Chapter
1.
1, where, I mean, this image that we're using as a placeholder.
I don't know if you guys see this, just put it on the screen.
Yeah, I would probably take away everything. This is just what it is.
Yeah.
Kris, at the end of Chapter 1, ripped out their soul, threw it into the cage, and therefore we had no control over Kris. This was all Kris's doing.
And it is believed that Kris went and created the Dark Fountain in the library.
That's what we believe.
We don't know that for sure.
A lot of people believe he didn't do shit.
He's all talk. That's what they think.
A lot of people don't like this theory because people think that it's a character assassination of Kris's character. I believe it's good storytelling.
I think it's great storytelling.
I'm pretty sure people said, do you know that flavor text at the library where it says, like when it's talking about the server room?
Okay.
And it's like, a large person could easily fit inside.
Yeah.
People use that to kind of debunk Kris.
That it could be
Because
anybody.
that was implying that the Night was hiding in there and that the Night is a huge person.
Yeah.
And Kris was stated it multiple times
To be a small person.
short as hell.
Now the thing is, narratively, I think it makes a lot of sense for Kris to be the Night. Us as the player being opposed by Kris, who doesn't like us, is narratively very good. It's honestly it's just very fucking good. I would love to see that. Of course, there's many other options we're going to explore today, but in terms of gameplay wise, like enjoyment of me seeing that, I would fucking love that, because that's the main character, that's the player we've been playing as. But them opposing us would be fucking sick. And maybe like we start playing as the Vessel at one point or some shit. Like there's a lot of possibilities that could go into that, you know what I mean?
Now, I'd also like to back that up with a little bit of proof as well. Kris, at the end of Chapter 1, obviously we said made the fountain for the library. Then ate the pie, but we don't know why bro ate the pie.
No clue.
People say that ending for Chapter 1 was just completely BS. It was like a fake out,
Yeah.
like completely. Because Toby had everyone thinking that Kris was gonna start a genocide route and like kill Toriel or some shit at the beginning. That's what everyone thought when it was only chapter 1. But now that we know the truth, Kris ate the pie. But I also still believe bro made the library Dark Fountain. We know that Dark Fountain didn't exist.
It existed the day after, so they definitely could have went out in the middle of the night and created that dark fountain. But there's a lot more that goes into this. As a person, Kris is shown to be very mysterious and sometimes antagonistic. They're a nonchalant dreadhead, is what I'm saying. But like an evil nonchalant dreadhead.
Kris wanted to bring Susie back over for a sleepover. How do we know this? The TV. Where is chapter 3 gonna take place?
In the TV world.
Chris's house, but it's gonna be TV themed. I'm also gonna back this up with a little bit of proof. Kris, as previously stated, at the end of chapter 1, created a dark fountain in the library. People say, oh, how could Kris have escaped the house that easily? I mean, bro jumps through windows all the time, so like, I think Kris could have just jumped through their window at the end of chapter 1 in the middle of the night. People say that can't be possible because Kris has no soul in their body, therefore can't live. But when you look at Flowey from Undertale, Flowey has no soul. Life can still persist after death to some degree. For humans, we don't know how much that is.
We could see. We've seen in Undertale.
That it can
How it
happen.
works.
I don't think it's outlandish to say that Kris could have made a dark fountain without a soul. I mean, we see Kris without the soul make the dark fountain. Like, it happened right before our eyes. So, a little bit of more proof. The pie. People say that pie, that whole chapter 1 ending was just a fake out for chapter 2 and that it meant nothing. That can't be the case. That can't be the case. Toby's not gonna just put something that massive.
You don't do that.
He's not going to put something that narratively massive with that many implications, knowing that's going to trigger people's PTSD from Undertale, especially because bro looks like Chara.
He ain't gonna do that.
That pie, we know Kris ate it. That's what we know for sure. Now, how is this pie nefarious? I'm not going to lie to you, it's not. That pie, Toriel had to make another pie in chapter 2, we know at the end when Susie was over. Kris was going to bring Susie over anyways.
I didn't even think of that.
How do we know this though? How do we know this? Now, in chapter 1, the TV's unplugged. In
Yep.
chapter 2, the TV's plugged in. This happens between the chapter. Kris wasn't home at all during chapter 1. Bro's at school, bro's in the dark world, bro was out exploring the town. This only could have happened in between chapter 1 and 2, which
Indeed.
means it happened at night while Kris was the night. Think about it like that, because we know chapter 3 takes place in the TV world by some extension. It's mostly correlating to the TV, even though it's also based off places in Kris's
In the house, yeah.
Yeah, in Kris's house.
I guess we do have to see though. I can't wait to see what it truly is because, of course, yeah, how much it's been implied that it is a TV world inside the TV channels and shit. But at the same time, it could just be the entire house. And like I keep seeing people talk about the flowers that were thrown in the trash coming to life, like Flowey in the dark world. Like that would be insane. But yeah, like I can't wait to see what that's going to be.
Yeah. Anyways, Kris wants Susie to come over and for Susie to help out with the pie. So Kris can get away, jump out the window, slash the tires, do all that other nefarious shit, and then make the dark fountain.
Yup.
Plus, the evil correlation with Kris, a knife, red eye, let's be real here.
This reminds us of Chara, especially with that fit. Reminds us of Chara from Undertale, who is the culmination of evil in that story.
Yes. Now, do I think Kris is necessarily the most evil person? I don't know. I think Kris has a
we do
reason.
know. Yeah, and I actually want to explain Kris's motivations here, and at least from what we could tell, at least from what we've seen, Kris might feel like powerless or like trapped in their life. You know what I mean? Also, little side note, Kris is known to indulge in some secular things, such as demons.
The occult. We know this by Caddy in chapter 2's dialogue.
But Kris could be seeking a world where they have more control and freedom. Since the Dark World brings a lot of people together, including Rouse, Susie, and like all the people from the Light World can go in.
Noelle too, and Toriel's coming
yes.
as well.
Kris could control them in a way. We saw how Kris controlled Noelle in the Dark World. Kris maybe has always wanted to do that since they were kids, but never had the confidence to. But in their own world that they created, the possibilities are endless for Kris.
Now, I'm not saying Kris is necessarily like doing the Snowgrave route all the time. Obviously, that's us controlling that. But Kris, I think, wants to have escapism because Deltarune's all about escapism. I think Kris is trying to get away from the real world as much as possible and maybe use the dark world to mend things or in their life. For example, Kris was never friends with Susie. Susie would always bully Kris. But after the Dark World, after Chapter 1, Kris and Susie are now friends.
I didn't even make that connection, yeah.
Chapter 2, Kris and Noelle, they're apart. After Chapter 2, they're closer together, even if Noelle thinks it's a dream. Chapter 3,
We'll see.
Kris's parents are divorced.
Well, that's true.
Kris might be trying to mend
The
a
relationship.
relationship. Maybe not with Toriel and Asgore, because I don't think Toriel want that. And plus, Toriel's, you know, getting a little fun with Sans, you know.
But at the same time, then why call the cops? Why Undyne come?
Well, Undyne, that might be Kris wanting to prove to Undyne.
Ooh, because, yeah, Kris wanted to prove to Undyne that the Dark World was real. But how are you going to back that up in a normal real-life situation? Let's just say last night, you was in a whole nother world. And you come back to our world, and you go tell your friends at school. You think they gonna believe you?
They ain't believing shit.
They ain't believing shit.
Unless it's Master Blue.
That's true.
Then like, I don't know.
No clue.
I don't know why. I saw another theory. I don't remember where. You know how Asgore's really clingy? Like the Toriel, the flowers he got
yes.
on the marriage. What if he's clinging as well to his old job? He still has like his police walkie-talkie. So when he hears, oh yo, everyone pull up at Toriel's house, he's gonna pull up first.
I could see that happening, to be honest.
And it's Toriel and Asgore.
Never really thought of that,
in chapter 3.
So, what we're saying is, at least from the story, from what we've seen so far, Kris has been implied to be the knight the most. And we have the most evidence, at least, in-story evidence. And if we haven't at least made you understand why we believe Kris could be the knight, then you're lost. No, I'm joking.
Debate us in the comments.
Yeah. Now the next suspect is one of great importance in Hometown. None other than the mayor, Noelle's mom. Now it is widely believed, honestly this is the most heavily accepted theory in the community. For some reason.
No,
I get it.
I
get it. I think Kris should be more accepted. Maybe people aren't happy with that, that's probably why. But I see the vision here. There's many things that go into this.
I also want to say, I don't think Noelle's mom's the most likely. I think Kris is the most likely. But
Same time.
I really want Noelle's mom to be the knight.
It would be sick.
If Kris isn't the knight, I really want Noelle to be the knight. Or
Noelle's
mom, not Noelle. No, don't touch Noelle.
And, Mayor Holiday has been depicted as very strict, very harsh on Noelle, and always shown with some sort of authority, right? Always some sort of control, theme of control in the game. Again.
Yeah, again, your choices don't matter. I'd also like to say, Noelle's mom's case is also helped by the fact that Noelle's mom hasn't been seen yet.
That's true. It's very mysterious. We don't have an idea of what she's about yet. And she has a lot of authority. That's all we know. Maybe she wants to exploit her political power and use her prowess for something greater. That outcome could be insane. That could be a great villain. Especially because you want a villain to be hinted at throughout the story. Noelle's mom has been hinted at since the beginning. And that's something that's very important, I feel like, because you want a main villain, if the knight is the main villain, or you want a villain at least to be built up, you know what I mean? You don't want a villain to just come out of nowhere and that's the main villain. So the fact that Noelle's mom has been built up and sculpted as this scary, powerful woman.
Backing you up, Chapter 1, Noelle was scared to go ask her mom for the keys to her own house because that's just how scary Noelle's mom is. And we know Noelle's mom's strong because they stated that they never really needed the police force, even when Asgore was a part of it, because Noelle's mom would just beat up all the bad guys, implying that Noelle's mom is
super
strong than Asgore.
Strong as fuck.
And we know the strength in the light world
correlates to Undertale,
correlates to Undertale, because
and we know
Asgore's still strong as shit.
Asgore's strong as fuck. Like,
yeah,
we saw he's the king. You know what I mean?
Yeah, boss monsters are insanely strong. Noelle's mom, not to mention her daughter, is already insanely strong in Snowgrave. So imagine a fully realized,
Fully fleshed out version of that.
with determination too, because the knight needs determination to make the dark fountains. And I'd also like to get into determination. Noelle's mom, people are saying, oh, but Noelle doesn't have determination. In fact, Noelle is lacking determination. Why is this? Because Noelle's a chicken shit. But first of all, when Queen selects a candidate for the knight, she picks Noelle. One, because Noelle's secretly strong as fuck. We've seen the Snowgrave route. Second of all, Noelle may possess a level of determination. We know Queen somewhat studied Noelle in a way that made Queen believe that Noelle had determination, enough in fact to create a dark fountain. Noelle's mom not only is obviously Noelle's mom, but we might have a reason why Noelle's mom is so determined. Des. Think about it. Des, as we know,
I feel like it's a very crucial character, Des, because everyone's tied into her. You know what I mean? Azriel tied into her, Kris tied into her, Asgore, Toriel tied into her, the mayor tied into her, Noelle tied into her. It's like almost all circles around Des, and there's also the huge theory with Gaster and the depths and Ness. I was gonna say Ness, and Des being in the depths. We know nothing about Des. We know a little bit. Des could be a very crucial character in this story, and especially because Noelle's mom, after losing her daughter, her eldest daughter, that could give her reason to become a villain in a way. You know what I mean?
What does any of that have to do with making dark fountains that would destroy the world? Many people don't know the full context of the roaring. What if Noelle's mom doesn't have the context for the roaring? Noelle's mom knows that it will bring the dark world and the light world together. What would the dark world have that Noelle's mom wants? Maybe Des is in the dark world in the depths. But I do think another plot point could be used, and that's Rudy. I say this because in chapter 2, Noelle comments on the fact that everything can be healed by a little spell while she's with her hospitalized father. Mm-hmm. Now, I think Noelle's mom, if she knows about the dark world, is thinking the same thing. Maybe she's trying to find not only her daughter, but
also a cure to oh my god, to cure Rudy. Like, that is, honestly, I didn't even think of that at all either. But that is very true. Like, almost like some Breaking Bad, like Heisenberg shit. You have to do bad things in order to do good for your family, for the people around you that you love. Narratively, that's genius, you know what I mean?
And especially because Noelle's mom already has the stage set up. If you think about it, the perfect opportunity to trigger the roaring would be during the festival that's coming up that Noelle's mom is hosting. Mm-hmm. Big event. Everyone's gonna be focused on that. Boom! Everything turns dark. Light world, dark world, mesh.
It don't go good. It don't go good.
It don't go good. But Noelle's mom might not know that. That's the difference.
She might not know that.
She might not know everything.
Queen didn't even know that, right?
Yeah, Queen didn't know that.
It was Rossi that explained that. Rossi is a character in itself that I'm very intrigued by, because bro's extremely mysterious. Like, I have to say, other than the wimpy act, yeah, in terms of story-wise, very knowledgeable. And I mean, he is the one that introduced us to the dark world. He is the one that told us what to do, how to steal the dark fountains and shit. Maybe Rousey, I don't want to branch off into that yet, actually. I'm gonna edge you a little bit. Theory coming up. That's all we really have. Like, I was writing down motives that Noelle's mom might have, and it's just like, I mean, I think we covered most of it. Other than that, she might want just more power outside of her political landscape, but other than that, I think
people also describe Noelle's mom as being very scary. Everyone describes the mayor as very scary. Asgore is being not treated very nicely by Noelle's mom. She left a note saying, you have 1 month to pay your rent.
From a friend, or at least an old friend, that's not generous at all. Because if you were a friend, you know, you'd let them stay for longer than a month and let them get their shit together before.
Yeah, plus Asgore's homeless. That's Asgore's home. Bro sleeps on flower seeds.
That's our second suspect, and I think this one is also very plausible because, I mean, there's a lot of implications, there's a lot of reasoning, and there's a lot of motives that go behind this character that we haven't even seen yet. Anything is possible. I actually can't wait to see this character. And little side note, I love, like, the number one thing I enjoy about this game right now is how little we know, bro. And I was saying this last theory video too. The thing that makes this game so special right now is that we know nothing. And all we can do is use the implications from the game, use the actual facts from the game, and turn that into theories inside our head. And that creates so many different possibilities. Judging by how many possibilities we have right now just for the night, and then with Gaster and everything, I don't know how Toby chose one story. You know what I mean? Like, there's so many different fucking things that could happen. I don't know.
Yeah, I know, the fandom's going crazy. But one last thing too, there was a night design by someone on Twitter, LUAA. It was so beautiful. It was for Noel's mom. It was beautiful. That's all I'm saying. For our third suspect, we will be going over who I originally thought the knight was in chapter 1. I'm not gonna lie, I thought bro was the knight. Father Alvin.
Someone who you wouldn't expect to be, but honestly, after playing the game and knowing and seeing the lore and the story, someone who's kind of suspicious, to be honest.
Yeah. Father Alvin is the son of Gerson, you know, from Undertale.
Who died, unfortunately, in this game.
Bro was the first leader of the Royal Guard in Undertale.
Being not that far off from Undyne, maybe not as great, but not that far off is a huge compliment, to be honest. One of the hardest fights in Undertale, for sure.
And Alvin being the son of Gerson, bro might even be stronger than Gerson.
Definitely could be stronger.
Now, Alvin is a priest under the church that worships the angel. The angel in the prophecy of the roaring is the one who brings down the roaring in the angel's heaven.
Now, could the angel be us, the player? We don't know. Could the angel be Kris? We don't know yet.
Could the angel be Noel?
We don't know yet.
But what we do know is that Alvin worships the angel. If Alvin were to hear we're going back to this again. If Alvin misinterprets the roaring prophecy and hears about the angel, bro's gonna think if the angel comes down, that's a good thing. If the angel's heaven comes down, that's a good thing. So let's start the roaring.
Where would Alvin have heard this? We don't know necessarily.
We think Gaster because across time and space.
Unless Gaster, right? Father Alvin not really being bad necessarily. It's more so like the niche where the character doesn't know what they're doing is bad, so they go ahead with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But I do think maybe bro knows that it's a little bit, questionable, but bro thinks he's doing the right thing. At the end of chapter 2, it says a little bit of sus shit. He goes to his father's grave and asks his father, is it right for this hammer to ... And we never hear the end of it. People say, but the knight needs a sharp object to make the fountain. If Alvin's using the hammer, hammers aren't sharp. Which is where I say, you're wrong. Not all hammers are sharp. Gerson was a blacksmith by trade. Blacksmiths use a hammer that is flat on one side and sharp on the other
side. Yeah.
We can even...
Also, I remember we were talking about this one day, and in the Dark World, if Father Alvin was ever in the Dark World, his weapon would be a warhammer. That would be fucking sick.
That'd be so cool. I had a couple days ago, I had a dream where Alvin was the knight, and there was the coolest design. Bro had some huge red cape. Bro had the warhammer. Bro had a menacing ass fucking helmet. Bro's a turtle, so it's bro's design and armor was huge. If one of you want to make some art for Alvin being the knight,
please do so. Holy shit.
If y'all got an Alvin knight theory and y'all can draw, I'm giving you guys ideas. At the end of the day, Alvin does have some religious themes, and knights often crusaded under a religious cause. So Alvin might see himself as some holy religious knight that's bringing down the angel's heaven, which would cause the roaring.
And I do fully believe also that there will eventually be a Dark World in the church.
I think chapter 4 might be that.
Bishop, you know what I mean? If we're going by the same chess theory, we've seen the king, queen. I think we're bound to see a bishop sometime soon. So Bishop would have to be at the church. There's nowhere else that would be. He could be harboring a lot of secrets. He could know a lot because of Gaster maybe, and could be wanting to bring the roaring. Either to find the angel and to worship it, or to make himself one that is worshipped, like a savior or something, of a new world or something. Just proposing ideas, you know what I mean? He seems to be very dedicated to the church as well.
That might fuel his
Cause.
ambition.
That definitely will. And especially if, let's just say, he wants to bring about the roaring. If he wants to bring about the roaring, there's a lot of motives there, and he definitely knows a lot about the faith that the whole town is centered around.
And we don't know a lot about that. We might be able to learn some stuff.
Especially through Father Alvin, I think we'll be able to find a lot about the lore of the religious section of the game that we don't know much about. There's not too much here.
Yeah, but the points that we got are really strong.
We'll have to see in chapter 3. I can't wait for more implications, more fucking points that we could use in future videos.
Now, the upcoming candidates and suspects don't have as many points that we have.
We did run through the people that we are most
suspicious
of, yeah. But these next couple are definitely going to be very crucial characters because we know they're strong and they're very mysterious as well. And I think we're going to start off with Des here. We've already been talking about Des. How Des, you know, everybody knows the backstory. Well, not everybody knows the backstory, but a lot of people know the backstory. Went missing. No clue where she is now. But she was very important to the family. She kind of held it together, I guess, and ever since her departure. The Dreamer family, we don't know if it's 100% correlated, but we know Asgore and Toriel split up, possibly because of that.
Yeah, that's what a lot of people are thinking. That's a popular belief.
But also, we know, Rudy is sick now. Maybe the mayor became so strict and so focused on her line of work because of what happened to Des. Because a lot of people fall into their work and just focus on their work when tragedy strikes. That happens a lot of time.
Now, what does this have to do with the night? Des has a correlation with being lost, just like Gaster. Gaster is related to darkness, the depths, the dark worlds, all of that. Maybe Des is kind of like corrupt while she's missing in like the depths or something. Or maybe had to run in with Gaster, just like the secret bosses did, and now is being used as the knight. Narratively, it'd be a good plot twist, because we know Noel's one of the main characters. Noel's a part of the 4th main cast.
Yeah.
It'd give Noel a lot of conflict with Des, and would make Des more effective as a villain.
For sure.
Is what I'm saying. And it'd be an amazing twist villain.
A crazy twist. Like we said before, there's a lot of implications around Des. There's a lot of things that are so unknown about Des, but from what we've seen so far, it is so interesting and so intriguing that of what happened to her, we don't even know fully what happened to her, and I hope that really gets explained. My mind goes in so many different places of what could have happened to her. My favorite theory that I heard one time was that they're like in the woods or some shit, and then
they came across the bunker, because we know that Kris has seen the bunker a while back.
I remember that Rudy and Asgore failed to save Des some way or another, and that's part reason of Rudy's illness, but also the reason why Asgore is just treated horribly now by his wife, or ex-wife, and the mayor, who is Noel's mother, or Des's mother. So there's a lot that goes into that. At least from what we've seen, Des was like friends with Azriel, Kris, and Noel.
As we said before, Des doesn't have as much proof, and not as strong proof, but narratively, Des would make a good villain.
Would be amazing. And we just know some major, very important, lore significant event that happened that rocked both families, the Dreamer family and the Holiday family.
And kind of hit the town as well.
And that whole event is the reason why Des is missing. And I guess we're gonna have to see. Time will tell, because we don't know much about Des at all yet. The big sister that we don't know anything about, but just there's a lot of trauma linked to her from all characters. From
and
a lot
big
of characters.
sister, Des is probably stronger than Noel.
100%, or at least more realized.
And that would also make a crazy ass boss. Let's be real.
Now, our penultimate suspect, Papyrus. None other than Sans' brother.
The Spaghettor.
The Spaghettor. As a little callback to the old Undertale series that's not even on the channel anymore.
Yes, it is.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm gonna use this as a low plug, but if you guys haven't already, go check out our streams, because we be streaming every week, and we stream very, very good games, and our streams are amazing.
They're very, very interesting.
So please go look at those and join our next streams if possible. Thank you.
Papyrus also hasn't been seen in Deltarune.
Not yet.
Papyrus hasn't even been name dropped. Sans just says, my brother.
There's a lot of correlation here, I could tell. Other than Kris, none of these characters have actually been seen in other than Father Alvin as well, have actually been seen in Deltarune. The Mayor, Des, Papyrus, and the next one that we're going to be talking about as well. There's a big correlation there with just mystery and the night.
Papyrus holds back during all of Undertale. We know Papyrus could be really strong. Papyrus, if you abort the genocide round in Undertale right as you fight Papyrus, if you go on the Papyrus State minigame, Papyrus will say, I would have had to blast you if I used my special attack, which implies Bro's Yaster blasters. Bro could be as strong as Sans. Papyrus is Sans' brother, so maybe if Papyrus trained a little more. Papyrus' base stats, are higher than Sans.
Ooh,
so
that is true.
If Papyrus had access to like the karma effect and everything, and like that fucking time skip bro
Could be
has,
an insane fight.
Bro does 1 damage per frame with the karma ability. Imagine 9 damage per frame. That would literally kill you in 1.6 seconds, I think is the calculation.
That is fucked.
I
yo.
might be lying out of my ass.
That is
that
fucked. I'm not gonna lie.
But like that would like be an insta kill. Imagine fighting Papyrus, but bro insta kills you. You can't even beat Papyrus.
You can't, bro. I do want to mention.
What you mean you can't, bro? You couldn't beat Papyrus.
Oh yeah, I couldn't. No, back in the day. I do want to mention, in Undertale, he had very big dreams. Wanted to be the next royal guard. In this game, maybe he has very big dreams too. And similar to, let's just say, a character like, let's just say, Griffith, wants to create his own world. There's no implications to this. I'm just saying, big dreams correlate to big dreams in other universes. And in this universe, he wants to create a dark world and just
maybe
rule
getting
the
recognition
world
with that.
Yeah.
And also, Papyrus is depicted almost as being like a knight and having armor. So that also might be, the knight.
I don't think there's anything, I guess, like, evil we could say about Papyrus.
Yeah, but it would just make a cool, funny villain.
He'd make a cool villain. He just, like, I think,
like,
honestly...
a full power Papyrus, people really just want to fight. I think that's the reason why.
That is true. Maybe we will fight a full power Papyrus at one point.
Maybe not as the knight.
But I don't think we're going to fight him as a knight. Kind of just, like, as a normal fight. Maybe he will be in our Dark World with Sans at one point.
Yeah, but I think Papyrus was just worth to mention because people like talk and bring up Papyrus as a knight.
There's really nothing bad to say about Papyrus. He's just a very nice person. I don't think Papyrus will be the knight then, because Papyrus is not in the game Deltarune. Papyrus has not been built up at all. Just my brother, and for just Deltarune players, let's just say, they have no idea who Sans is talking about.
Only real correlation that we could have with the prophecy and Gaster is that Papyrus might just be related to Gaster.
Yeah, that is very true. And Gaster may be messing with his ideologies like he did with the secret bosses. But we have no proof of that, of course.
But at the same time, you could also use that to back up Sans being the knight, which is definitely not the case. Let's be real.
That would be an ass pull from Toby. I'm not gonna lie, he would not do that. But you want a villain to be built up, and Papyrus has not been built up, and at least what we've seen in Undertale now, Papyrus is built up as a funny, like almost comic relief character, and you don't want that for a villain.
That's why we don't think Papyrus is a knight.
So our last suspect here, someone of great importance to our main character, is none other than the other member of the Dreamer family, Azriel. Now we know how powerful Azriel really is in Undertale. We've seen.
Bro's the final boss.
Literally the final boss.
And a boss monster.
Azriel has been shown to have great importance in the Deltarune story without even being there. Kind of was a rock for Kris. Someone for Kris to rely on and kind of kept Kris stable. Also, just want to say, the whole Azriel Rousey thing still kind of throws me off to this day. I don't know what it means, but but Toby didn't do that for no reason. I'm gonna tell you, he didn't do that shit for no reason.
In fact, Rousey came before Azriel. As we know, Azriel's returning back to hometown in Chapter 7, which is probably when the roaring is taking place. So that might help the case of the night. Plus, Bro hasn't been seen yet, so maybe Bro's working in the shadows.
Returning in Chapter 7 might go against him being the knight because
Bro was just not here.
Yeah, just not here at all. Unless he was all along and he was sneaking in.
Azriel's a grown up, really strong now, obviously. Asgore and Toriel are really strong. Azriel's name comes from the angel of death in the Bible. The angel being a part of the roaring prophecy and shit like that. A bringer of death, a bringer of destruction. That would be bringing about the roaring in this universe. Also, how would Azriel open up dark fountains? We know Azriel as Flowey possessed some levels of determination.
Yeah, I was about to mention that actually.
And at one point was the most determined being in the underground, being able to utilize save points. So that could give Azriel some power to make dark fountains and bring them to life.
And if people like, at least implied in this story so far, it's been shown that Azriel was a very caring brother, very nice brother, just very kind-hearted person. It was shown as that in Undertale as well, before losing his soul and, becoming what we saw him as Flowey. We saw the whole Flowey situation, how dark Azriel really was, yeah. That could definitely play into it because we don't 100% know if the Knight's motives are ill, if the Knight's motives are bad, let's just say, but in this case, I'm gonna guess that they are, just because, bringing about the roaring is not something that's in goodwill.
I'd also like to say narratively that Azriel would technically make a good villain because it made conflict with the whole rest of the cast and especially Kris.
And I like that trope of almost like an older brother looked up to, kind of like, I've never watched Naruto, but Itachi and Sasuke. I love that trope of an older brother that's looked up to doing bad things. That's or maybe not doing bad things, but that you always were close with, and then it's literally that's exactly what Itachi was. I'm pretty sure. I've never watched it, but went away for a long time and then came back and was just completely evil.
One flaw that does have is that it'd be making Azriel the main villain again. In Pacifist, Azriel was the main villain.
And yeah, the thing is, I don't think Toby would recycle the same main villain, especially if Deltarune came first. I think he would want to steer away from that for Undertale, just because I don't think he wants like a recurring ending, like something that would make fans not as happy.
Yeah, and I don't think that would go as well with the fans, and that also just throws a major wrench into the theory that we have.
I think there's a lot for Azriel, just very built up, right? Azriel's been very built up over the years, and in game we know a lot about Azriel, and I think that makes him a great suspect. I guess we just have to see, as time will tell. Maybe Azriel will be our savior and be our angel, and will come save us when the skies get dark. Now, we've just said a lot of information. If you have to rewatch this video, do so, because
We give this watch hours.
yes, that's exactly why I said that. But no, there's a lot of suspects that we've gone over, and these are just the main ones. Obviously, there's other theories on other people, but I think these are the main people, especially Kris, Noel's mom, and Father Alvin. I think those are the most plausible suspects we have. I guess time will only tell who will be the knight. Yo, watch it just be Kris, and like, we made this theory video for no reason. Everybody in the fucking community is freaking out. Oh, it's gonna be Father Alvin. Oh, it's gonna be the fucking mayor. No, it's just Kris.
I feel like if it does happen, people will warm up to it.
Yeah, no, maybe it'll grow on people. I don't mind the idea at all.
Because there's no way Toby fumbles this. There's no way Toby could fumble like the protagonist also being the antagonist.
No, definitely not. And that's always, I love that trope when the antagonist is the protagonist. Happened in AOT, even though low-key I didn't understand Aaron at the end of the show. I was kind of like confused his motives, but now I really understand. I understand it now. And he's not really the antagonist. Like, it's fucking sick the way that Isayama wrote it. But I love that trope. Yeah, and I think that trope never really goes wrong, to be honest.
Anyways, with all that being said, those are the 6 possibilities. It could be someone that we haven't even met yet.
Wait. 6 possibilities.
Wait a sec.
6. What if Gaster is the knight?
Please no, bro.
Nah, now you are, bro. And I've seen some theories on that too, but honestly, I don't think we should go over that today, because I don't think that's like, I don't think Toby would do that, number one.
Plus, Gaster is more of a Dr. Day in the night. He sits back and lets the whole chess game happen. He's a chess player. He's not a piece.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He might be the one controlling the night, maybe influencing the night to create dark fountains, but yeah, that's a little mini bit about Gaster.
Now, with all that being said and done, we hope you enjoyed the video at the end of the day. Like, subscribe, comment, especially if you have to debate us.
Please debate us. Honestly, I want to... When we posted our Gaster theory video about, what was it, like 4 months ago now?
Yeah.
When we posted that shit 4 months ago, every time I saw a comment, I would go read that shit in full. Especially if it was a long comment, I'd go read that shit in full and I'd reply to it. I'd read the replies to it. Because I love when people talk about what we're talking about as well. And I love when something that we're talking about creates a discussion. You know what I mean? That's why I love streaming, because we could be talking about something on stream and then people in chat will be discussing it in chat, and we'll be able to read it live and give our feedback. And that's just the beauty of the internet, to be honest. That's the beauty of the fucking internet. It's shit.
Anyways, if you enjoyed this type of content, subscribe, obviously.
Please do.
We've got more of this coming.
We're
thinking about like an evil Sham theory.
Oh yeah.
Or like,
I was gonna mention that today, but low-key I want to work on that a bit, because there's not too much backing it up, but this could be very cool.
Yeah, especially with the Sham plush that just got.
Yeah, the Sham plush that released it kind of almost like not confirmed it for me, but made me write that down as part of the video. But I think we do it in another video, maybe along with Rouse, like the whole truth about Rouse and shit. But yeah, we got a lot more videos coming out. Maybe we'll do the truth about another character in Deltarune. I know we were talking about it, the truth about someone else. I forgot. But this video is going to be titled The Truth About the Night. But I know we're talking about another character.
Yeah. Anyways, all that stuff is coming up soon. I hope you guys enjoyed, and we'll see you on the next one.
I don't know what I was going to say.
Good chat.
Ah,